Right folks, I'm back again and I'm just getting ready because I'm off on a long road trip back to my native northeast of England. So I'm going to be leaving Essex, which is just north of London, travelling up to Sunderland in the northeast of England. Now this is going to be very interesting because it's quite cold outside, it's 4 degrees Celsius. Electric cars are known for not being that great in doing long distances regarding the range on the car that you get. So let's put that theory to the test. And along the way, I'll be talking all things Tesla, and I'll be giving you an interesting tip, especially if you're in the UK, on what you need to do before April the 1st. So stick around, grab yourself a coffee or a beer, come on this journey with us, because it's going to be an interesting journey to see how this car performs over that distance, and we'll take some sights in along the way. So I'm going to take you to the screen, give you the state of play, what I'm starting at, what the journey looks like, how many stops I've got planned in, and follow me and we'll see how this journey goes. Right, I'm ready to go, guys. So here we go. As you can see, I've got 71% battery. The temperature is 4 degrees C, which is, it feels a lot colder than the outside. So I'm expecting to potentially struggle with what this is telling me, but we'll soon find out. So there's my route all planned in from north of London in Essex all the way up to Sunderland, and as you can see, I've got 2 stops penciled in along the way because I have put in I want to have 60% charge on arrival. So let's see how accurate it is on the journey up there. Right, plenty to talk about. Right, we're well into the journey. We've done 94 miles so far. I've got another 6 miles to go before I pull into the first Supercharger stop. I've got a battery range of 23% estimated when I arrive at the Superchargers. So don't forget, I started off with 71%. If I look at the energy graph, I am just below the line because on the journey, it's raining, it's very windy, and as I said, I've had that fluctuation in temperature. So all of that is having an adverse effect on the range of the car. So the reason I'm going to do 2 stops is because I want to be at 60% on arrival when I get to my destination. So let's see how that pans out. So I'll bring you back when I'm hooking up to the Supercharger. Right, I've pulled into the Grantham Supercharger here in the UK. As you can see, I've done 101 miles. It's took me an hour and 39 minutes. And I've done 345 watts per mile, which is really high for this car as a rule of thumb. And that's to do with the, the temperature is, what's it showing there, 4 degrees Celsius still. And the weather is not very nice outside. It's windy, it's cold, it's horrible. So we're at the first charging station now. Let's get her on charge. We'll go in and use the toilet facilities. And for those of you who are around the world, especially in the States, you can see Greg's the Baker's. Greg's the Baker's is an absolute must if you come to the UK. And I'm going to get myself a nice latte and a cheese and onion pasty. Right, so here we are at the Supercharger. We'll just take it out. Give it a little tap and put her in. Put this one back that's fell out. Just check we're all good. Yeah, it's starting to charge. Right, let's get to Greg's the Baker's, and as you can see, there is a couple of other Model Y performances. One's the same colour as mine on the 74 plate, and the other one looks like it's in, is it Stealth Grey? I'm not quite sure which colour that is. Stealth Grey, it might be. Anyway, let's get it. It's freezing out here, absolutely freezing. Right, bring it back in a sec. Right, let's see if Greg's is open. Hopefully it will be. And there she is, the famous Greg's the Baker's. Right, so here we are. Got our cheese and onion pasty, as you can see. You've got to get the Greggs if you come to the UK. Look at that cheese now, so good. Anyway, while I've got you, for those of you who have electric cars in the UK, it's imperative that you sort of take advantage of a tiny little loophole that we've got. So as you're all aware, from April the 1st, you are going to start getting charged for road tax, which works out at £190 a year if you have a Tesla, or any other electric car for that matter, that's registered before April the 1st, 2025. Now, if you register your car before April 2025, it doesn't matter when it's due. So, for example, if your tax is due in June, July, August, September of this year, get it registered before March 31st, and you can then take advantage of another 12 months without having to pay any road tax. It's legal, there's nothing underhanded about it. It's just a little way of just extending that period of time before you start having to pay road tax. Now, for those of you who are buying a brand new car over the value of £40,000, and it will be registered after April the 1st, then what will happen there, especially from a point of view of a Tesla, you will pay £10 for the first year. You then have to pay the 190 plus you have to pay the luxury car tax. So all in all, your second year is going to cost you just over £600 per year just for road tax of a car that's over the value of £40,000. It's electric, which is absolutely shocking. But people will say, well, if you can afford to buy a car for £60,000 plus, you know, what is £600 here? But when you're so used to not paying it, it's quite a chunk of money, you know, to do that every year on top of your car insurance as well. So leave your thoughts in the comment section. But yeah, for those of you who've got your car before, and it's been registered before April the 1st, 2025, pre-register on the government website with your vehicle logbook, and you will be able to take advantage of getting another 12 months from March right the way through into next year without paying anything. Right, I've got my latte, I've got my pasty. I'll bring you back when we get back to Supercharger. Right, so as you can see, we're up to 63%, been here 15 minutes now, so I'm just going to walk back to the car. 5 minutes to continue trip and 15 minutes to my 80%, so that's charged that pretty quick, to be fair. So let's get back to the car. Now, Grantham Supercharger in the UK is one of these chargers that is opened up to any electric vehicle to charge with. Saying that, I might be wrong there actually, because I can only see Teslas on the Superchargers. But further down, where the Ionity chargers are, that's where the other cars are. So maybe I'm wrong with that. I don't know if anyone in the UK can correct me on that, but it looks like Tesla Superchargers for Teslas only here, which is good news. Right, let's see how she's doing. Right, so I'm just getting ready to go. As you can see, I'm up to 75% from 23%. That has cost me £17.27 and going. I'm going to stop it in a minute. And it cost me £3.67 to get to 71% on home charge. So just over £20 plus I've got 75% in the tank. So I'll stop the Supercharger, let's get off and let's see how the journey takes us. Right, so I've just got 2 hours to go on the journey to get me to my second and final stop, and that is a place called Scotch Corner, which is in Yorkshire. However, this is a notorious area for charging your car. it's got 8 stalls, and the chargers only do 130 kilowatt charge. So they're not the fastest of charger, and the further up north towards the northeast you get, there isn't that many superchargers available. So I need to either take a calculated risk and go to a really fast charger, which is at a place called Ferrybridge, which does 250 kilowatts, or do I just gamble and go to Scotch Corner, which is notoriously busy? So I'll make that decision as I get a bit closer as to how I'm going to play that one. So what I'm doing, I've made a decision. I'm not going to stop off at Scotch Corner. I'm going to stop off at Ferrybridge. And the reason I say that, because what I've done, I've cancelled the final stop out the sat-nav system. It's telling me I've got 91 miles left to go to get to my final destination, and I will be getting there with 10% battery available to me. However, that's not enough for what I need when I'm visiting friends and family later on this evening. So I've decided stop off at Ferrybridge and top up. Probably is about, I'm going to have to go 80 to 90% to get me to what I need. 80% will probably do me, actually, which will probably give me about 40% to play with when I get up there. And then I can utilise the service charger at the hotel I'm staying in tomorrow night, which is right at my doorstep at a place called Washington in Tyne and Wear. So, decision made, Ferrybridge it is. I am literally 3.5 miles off turning off, but I'm stuck in traffic. I'll bring you back when we get to the Supercharger at Ferrybridge. I tell you what, for those people out there who say no one's buying electric cars, I'm at Ferrybridge services, all 18 are full. I must have seen 15 or 20 Teslas driving around and waiting for spots. There's 7 parked up now waiting for one available position. And when they get on, it's not going to be pretty, because I am currently charging at 48 kilowatts an hour now. I am on 79%, so the battery will slow down, I understand that. But when I first got on, I can't remember what it was. It was about 80 odd kilowatts an hour, which is ridiculously slow. And these are on 250 watt chargers. But because all 18 are being used, it's obviously draining the power. I've got Ionity behind me. I think they've got about 10 chargers there. They're full. So obviously electric cars are still very popular and people are buying them, because there's another Tesla just gone past. It's mad, absolutely crazy here. Now this is quite a popular area for electric cars at Ferrybridge. So my calculation didn't work out right. My gamble, I don't think, paid off. I maybe should have stuck to stuck my guns and went to Scotch Corner. But never mind, done and dusted. I'm on 80% now. I'm going to get another 3 or 4% in the tank, and then I'm going to pull off. Right, that was a really bad decision by me. I should have just did what the car told me to do. So, schoolboy error was I was over 50% when I pulled in to charge. So it was always going to be slowish anyway. But then to find every single station was full. And what made it worse was, as I was pulling into it, it said there was 5 available. And as soon as I got there, literally 2 minutes later, they're all full with other cars waiting. So, and I had a 10-minute wait. So yeah, absolute schoolboy error by me. And as you all know, the car will always take a while to charge once it gets up to 80% anyway. So anyway, I'm all right. So no more stops scheduled. 46% in the tank. Hopefully when I get there. Weather's still the same. Temperature's still showing at 4 degrees C. Yeah, weather's still horrible. So, never mind, you learn from your mistakes, and that was a big one by me, that was. So, I'm travelling up to a friend's house, who I've known for, 20 years. And when I was working down in Essex, I used to work for a major retailer in distribution. This is where I met this guy. and we became really good mates. I'm a Sunderland supporter, he's a Newcastle supporter, so we had that little bit of rivalry, but good-natured rivalry, you know. And for those who don't know, Newcastle and Sunderland is a huge rivalry, but most Newcastle fans have got Sunderland friends, and most Sunderland fans have got Newcastle friends, just the way it is. But on match day, you know, you don't talk to each other. You might agree, like me and Gavin do, you might agree not to talk about the game, whoever wins at the end of it, because you know the other one is going to be so deflated, and the weekend will be ruined, and probably most of the following week will be ruined, because you've got to go to work and face all this stick that you're going to get from, you know, the Newcastle fans, or vice versa, you know, the Sunderland fans. So it's all good fun. And as I said, you know, this guy, you can count really good friends on one hand, and Gavin's one of them. He'll do anything. He's as tight as arseholes, but he'll do anything for anyone, Gavin, you know. So it's good to have friends like that. So yeah, staying at his house tonight, and then I'm off out and about to see family, see my son tomorrow as well. So really looking forward to it. So what I'll do, I'll leave this update for now, and I'll bring you back tomorrow when it's hopefully the weather's a bit better, and I'll take you on the next part of the Tesla journey and what I'm going to be doing. Now, regarding the updates for the cost, I lost the cost for the last charge I did, but it'll be on my app. So what I'll do, right at the end of the road trip, I'll give you the mileage and I'll give you the cost for the journey from my house back again, yeah? So it just saves going through all of that till the very end. Right, catch you later, folks, and see you tomorrow. Right, good morning all. So it's day 2 of the road trip. I've just left Gavin and Carolyn's. A big thank you to 2 really fantastic people. Put me up at short notice, and they couldn't have been more hospitable. So thank you, and love the pair here. Right, so we're into day 2. We're off to a place called Berkeley, which the Angel of the North is. And it's still dark, but by the time I get there, have a little bit of breakfast, get some light, and start doing some video shooting of the Angel of the North. So I'm sitting currently at 49% battery. So I stopped twice yesterday, and as I said, I've still got 49% left. So we're in good shape. Bring you back soon. Right, so I've just arrived at Angel of the North. Really noisy because it's right on the A1. As you can see, there's the Angel of the North in the background. And the poor car is looking absolutely filthy at the minute. So I'm up here to do some work, capture some scenic sights of the northeast. I will drop a small amount in for you just so you can see it, just in case you haven't been to the northeast before. But yeah, once I've done this, I'll be off again, so I'll bring you back when the drone is done. I mean, the camera doesn't do this piece of architecture any justice whatsoever. It is absolutely huge. I'll drop a little bit of drone in so you can see what it looks like from a height, but it's a stunning piece of architecture. This is not the day to be doing drone work. My hands are absolutely dropping off. It's freezing up here, the wind is bitter. So I'm getting back to the car now. The drone shooting's complete. So we're off on to our next little visit. So I'll bring you back later. Right, I am still in the northeast. I'm down at a place called Easington Colliery. Easington Colliery used to be a massive mining community, and it's so sad to see this place go to rack and ruin, because since the mining community finished, the whole area is just literally, the houses are boarded up. It's just not a really nice place to be at the moment, unfortunately. But I want to show you something. I want to show you a memorial to the mines. So this is the exact spot where Easington Colliery stood, and the cage, or the lift as you might refer to it, is a monument to the exact spot where it descended down the mine shaft to a depth of about just shy of a mile, and it was about 7 miles out underneath the North Sea. Employed thousands of people in the area over the years, this place did, and it's really sad to see it standing there as a monument to the mining community, but at the same time it's a really good thing as well, so people don't forget what this area stood for. As you can see, it's treble decked, holds about 30 people to a level, and these people would be dropping down a mile below ground and 7 miles out to the North Sea. Great teamwork, great camaraderie, and taught you great values in life. What a fantastic sight to see this great monument for such a great place. Right, morning folks, we're off back down to the south. I've had a good 2 days in the northeast, very productive. My team actually won yesterday as well, which was nice to see, because I usually go there and they get beat, so that was good. So just to bring you up to speed, I was 257 miles up and I did 2 stops. Probably could have done it in 1, but I did it in 2. I've drove 114 miles around the northeast over the last couple of days to different areas, and I'm due to do around 257 to 260 miles going back. We'll go through everything I've used later in the video, but that's just the state of play currently. Now I'll take you to the screen and you can see what I'm currently sitting at. Right folks, so here's the screen. We're currently sitting at 43% state of charge. I've planned my route in, as you can see. I've just pinched it in a bit. As you can see, it's telling me I need to do 3 stops, but I'm probably going to try and do it in 2, because the arrival percentage isn't as important because I've got home charging. So let's get on the road, let's see where it takes us, and I'll bring you back soon. Right folks, I've just pulled into Scotch Corner. These are really slow chargers, these ones. They've been around for ages. So I'm currently sitting at 22% on my battery, and it's telling me that I need to stay here for 17 minutes charging. So let's get it plugged in. Right, let's have a debate on this one. Lots of people say never buy a brand new car, lease it because of depreciation. But I don't think that's the right thing to do, especially in the case of the Model Y Juniper. So here in the UK, we do get ripped off for the price of a Tesla compared to most places in the world. And let me know how yours compares to ours. So for the new Model Y Juniper, it's just shy of £61,000. I think it's about 60,990, something like that. Now, if you are to do a personal lease on that, that's going to cost you £913 a month. And they want a £10,956 deposit. So if you add up £913 over the term of 48 months, and also on top your deposit of £10,956, you're going to be paying £54,780, which is a difference of £6,990. Now, I don't get that, because if you think of it logically, if you do 10,000 miles, so that's a 40,000 mile car in 4 years, that car is going to be worth more than £6,990. So why wouldn't you just buy one? You're paying a 7% interest rate as well, which is a rip-off. It just does not make sense to personally hire a Model Y Juniper or contract hire over that amount of time, paying that amount of deposit. I mean, 900 and, what did I say it was, £913 a month. I mean, how do people afford that? So if you've got some money tucked away, you are absolutely, surely the correct option is to buy the car or go out and get cheaper interest rates, but still buy the car or buy it on hire purchase, because at the end of hire purchase, that car is yours. But on a lease, you hand the car back. What's your thoughts on that one, folks? Now, if you are watching this from anywhere other than the UK, please share with us and let me know how you feel about what options you've got available with the Model Y Juniper, because I bet the options are a lot better than what they are in the UK. As I said, I just think we just get ripped off all the time. So when it comes to buying a Model Y Juniper, I think that is the correct option to go. Because, as I said, a 40,000 mile car, which will be 4 years old, is going to be worth more than £6,990. So you're losing out on the lease. What's your views? Tell me, am I going mad here? Because everywhere I go, the amount of people that say to me, do not buy a car outright because you're going to lose on depreciation. Well, I get that, but you're still tying yourself into a 4-year contract. And let's be honest, not many people will stick to 10,000 mile. So if you go over that 10,000 mile, you're going to get a penalty put on, and you have to pay extra for how many miles you've gone over that contract length. I just don't get it. Am I barking mad? Let me know in the comment section, folks. I'd be interested in your thoughts. Right, folks, so I'm just pulling off now to Blythe service station. There is 9 Superchargers left by the looks of this, so that's good. So I won't have to wait. And I've got to be in there for 17 minutes to give me enough charge to get me back home, which will be absolutely ideal. Right, so I've just pulled up at the Supercharger. I've just managed to reverse in. Going to stick it on charge, grab a coffee, grab something to eat. But I don't have to be here for that long. So I'm going to stay as long as it takes me to have a drink and to have a quick bite to eat. And then we'll get going again. Bring you back soon. So here we are at Blythe Supercharger. As you can see, that bit is purely for Tesla. And then you've got grid serve for the other electric cars that we've got around us at the moment. Not the best service station, big grotty. Grotty means a bit dirty, if I'm being honest. Didn't enjoy that stay over at all. Thank God it was only for 15-20 minutes max. So we'll get in the car, we'll see what we've got. If it opens. Come on, that's it. Does that sometimes, I don't know why. What have we got? So we've got, yeah, we're good to go. So let's get going then. We'll take it off the Supercharge and that's it, no more stops. Should be home free. See you soon. Right, so we're on the homeward stretch now, no more stops scheduled, and I should get back home with about 10%. So that'll do me that, and then I can just put it on to home charging when I get home. So just thinking, when you own a Tesla, it is just so easy, isn't it? Because when you go on a long journey, you know, you should stop off. I know some people don't, but if you've got children, etc., you have to stop off. But it is good to stop off because, you know, just chill, stretch your legs, have a toilet break, grab a little bite to eat. And literally, if you get a fast charger, you can be in and out in 15 minutes. And, you know, I've gone from 21% up to about 71% in like 15 minutes, 20 minutes. That ain't bad, is it? So I don't get why all these people are going on about saying you can't go long distances in Tesla. I'll have done around 600 miles by the time I'm finished this trip, and it has not been an issue whatsoever. Right, folks, so I'm back home. I've got all the costings off the app. I can tell you now how many miles I did and what it cost me on the journey there and back. So if you remember, I started off at 71%. That works out at £3.67 due to home charging at 7 pence per kilowatt hour. So the first stop on the way up was the Grantham services. I stopped off for 26 minutes. It cost me £17.57 for 45 kilowatts at 39 pence per kilowatt. I then did one more stop at Ferrybridge for 32 minutes. That cost me £13.53. I put in 34.6 kilowatts at 39 pence per kilowatt hour. Now that got me to the final destination in Sunderland, and it worked out that I still had 49% of battery available to me next year. Now during my time in the northeast, I covered off 114 miles in that 642. I did do a little top up at Washington service station, which cost me quite a bit of money. That cost me £20.90. I stopped off for 47 minutes. Charge was ridiculously slow in Washington. I put in 44.4 kilowatts, and that was at a rate of 47 pence per kilowatt hour. Now that was at 9:15 in the morning, so I'm assuming that was a peak rate. On the way back down next day, I stopped off at Scotch Corner for 26 minutes, £9.26 in cost. 29 kilowatts were put in the car, and that was at a rate of 32 pence per kilowatt, which is really cheap actually. And then the final stop on the way down was Blythe for 23 minutes, £16.56 cost, 42.4 kilowatts were added in at 39 pence per kilowatt hour. So the grand total of all of that, including the cost for the home charging, was £81.49. However, I did arrive at 27% state of charge when I got home, so you would have to deduct that to try and get an accurate reflection of the total cost of that 642 miles. I put in 195 kilowatts. So all in all, I stopped off for 58 minutes on the way up, and I stopped off for 49 minutes on the way down. I don't think that was too bad. I don't think the cost was too bad at all. And do you know what? It was a great journey, just stopping off, chilling, having a cup of coffee, no pressure, really comfortable ride. Now I did a test a few months ago when the weather was warm, and the weather was around 15 to 23 degrees, and I did a test from 100% down to zero. There is a video of that in my channel if you want to watch it. But spoiler alert coming up, I did 301 miles in that car on one charge, which worked out at 75 kilowatts. Now I could have probably gone a little bit further. So I went from 100 down to zero, and I could have probably pushed it a bit more. I wasn't getting any final warnings, and the car was still performing reasonably well, and I wasn't on a reduced speed or anything. So I probably could have squeezed at least another 10 mile out of that car. So it just shows you how the temperatures do affect the cost of doing journeys in an electric vehicle. But even during the cold weather, and on the way up, it was really cold, it was windy, it was stormy. So overall, I'm really happy with that. So leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Do you think that was a reasonable cost, considering the temperature? Or do you think it was an extortionate cost? All comments are welcome. Don't forget, if you're not subscribing, please press that subscribe button. Please press the like button, and do drop me a comment, because I do reply to all my comments. Until the next video, folks, catch you all later, and thanks for watching.